smoke escapes my lips with a shuddering exhale. I've been whittling the cigarette down with shallow inhales for 10 minutes now, feeling it in my paws and relighting it over and over. But soon it'll start to burn my lips, so I have to throw it away, go back inside. Something bumps into me. Cigarette stump goes flying out into the road. Turning, there's an angry woman in front of me. She waves her cloven hooves furiously to make the smoke dissipate before I'm back to the park stroller. Okay. Her mouth was still moving, repeating the same motions, the same words over and over, I think. Sorry, I'm deaf. Shooting hits her for a moment, then she just rolls her eyes. A pretty good guess what the words accompanying the eye roll are. So, recent development. The stoplights at the crossing behind the woman are red. The cars play catch with the dismembered caviar of my cigarette. But someone just started walking across anyway. Okay. A push-past woman, maybe even bumping into the stroller, takes up the entire sidewalk. Does that have fucking quintuplets? Chat. Whenever there's no time to look behind me, I don't hear it slam into the ground. Right, death. I throw every other thought away and sprint harder than short otter legs were meant to. Man is far enough out on the road to be right in the crosshairs of a truck. With a leap which makes my feet vibrate painfully as they make contact with the asphalt, I get a paw around the back of his blue jacket. My brain manages to register that he's a huge panda, and thus it simply makes an execution decision to make my body fall backwards. With his weight on the other end, I don't go crashing into the ground. Merely hanging off his stumbling body as the momentum of my fall pulls him back. Panic paints his muzzle as the truck speeds past, but really not taking the bear's jutting belly with it. The rest of him stays behind. Large paw, not holding the cane with a crammed grip, shoots up to one of his small round ears. I can't see his eyes behind the black sunglasses, but sharp fangs dig into the bottom of his lip, wrinkled of pain. Oh, hold on. I made this shit too fast. Hold on. Okay. But, okay, sharp fangs dig to the bottom of his lip, wrinkled of pain encircling the muzzle. Alright. Pull hard on the bear's jacket to make him move through the days. The trunk's honking must have been ear-shattering that close up. At least the cars had started to actually stop at this point, which gives us enough time to get back to the safety of the pavement, even with the man's slow gait. He stumbles over the curb stone. A lady with 200 kids in here, anyone to judge him for it. Good. That's when the jackass whacks me in the ribs with a thin metal cane. Cross look over his face. Just not helping him. Hey, I ain't trying to rob you. You almost run over you, dumbass. He stops a second, whack, mid-swing, both paws gripping the cane so hard it bends. He starts talking, but I of course no clue what he's saying. I'm like, deaf. I dig through my pockets to remember the transmission device. Haven't gotten much of use of it yet, and I really feel the need or desire to hear anything people want to say to me since. Put this thing around your ear. Not 100% sure how it works. Any words you think should be transmitted to my receiver so I can give live subtitles. I hold it out for him, but he's just staring straight forward past my head instead of what's in my paw. I feel stupid. The pitch black glasses, the cane, walking out into traffic. May I put it on for you? It's kind of small, complex. He looks uncomfortable for a moment, but ends up nodding his consent. He's way taller than I am, but I want to keep touching him after having been so rough before. I can just about reach his ear. I stand up on my toes. Very notices that I'm a smaller species, struggling with the height difference, and thankfully bends his back a bit. Thank God. I have to fight through the way my head swims as my nose takes in the smell coming from under that jacket. It's one of the very lightest hints in the air of some wood. Smells shampoo, cedarwood perhaps. Not much of a powerful scent myself. Right, my outer musk is masked with the dousing of a floral explosion. Such a masculine scent does for the big bear though, but not as much as the natural masculine scent underneath. Wait, it has self-voicing? What's
self-voicing enabled? Self-voicing HUD. Such a masculine scent does fit a big bear though.
Oh, I don't like that. I'll do it. I was just curious. Thank fuck he's the one I'm putting the transmitter on rather than the receiver, or he'd get the live subtitles of this sexual harassment as the tiny thing clicks into place over his ear. Okay. I take a step away from him, keep a grip around his paws to let him know where I am. And try to say? Maybe like this then? Can you hear? Can you read me? Yeah. He doesn't look as giddy as I'm feeling, yet there's still a smile that shows the black gums underneath. It's like a slight buzzing in my head. This won't give me cancer or anything, will it? Everything gives you cancer, but no, this is certified technology. Would have been out on the market 10 years ago, but I guess they didn't iron out the brain cancer till last year. Okay. I'm Luca, by the way. I can't read that. Give me ambient sound of cars driving on the street. Okay. There's silence for a while. Maybe not silence. The cars make it impossible for me to pick up on the small shifts people are always making. Only thing letting me know he's still there is the cloud of jasmine and roses that hangs over him. I can still tell he's an otter despite pulling out all the stops to cover that up. The silence makes me uncomfortable. Should I have added that it's my name? Smiled at names of Benito, so he may think I insulted him in another language. I got your name and the Haxium characters, trying to remember literally anything from the one semester I took before giving up in frustration. Maybe if I spell it out, Haoyu, does that work? And if you're thinking Hayo or you, I'll say you, which I really didn't expect to be multilingual to a fault. I'm even talking when I'm hearing the words coming out of my mouth. There seems to be a filter to not spew out every single thought, but I can't pinpoint the rule for how it works yet. At least you're not getting things in Braille. I don't really know what any other alphabet looks like. A cheerful tone enters Luca's unsteady and staccato voice. Letters look like beautiful nothings, much like art. I don't think you're missing out on much. Art is meaningful. Nothing? I always wish I could see the paintings people spoke of like transcendental pillars of creation. Pillars that support the soul of everything that is life. But all I ever feel is frustration trying to imagine the starry night sky. It makes me feel like I'm missing a part of my soul. And I'm not being able to share in art makes me a little bit less alive. If it's meaningful, then how can it be nothing? Those are just strokes on the page. Painting is just pigment on the canvas. Music is just vibrations in the air. True. People give those things meaning, or rather, they take all of the nothing parts and see a reflection of the meaningful parts of themselves in that nothing. The nothing doesn't actually hold anything within by itself. Okay. I guess I see a reflection of myself in music, but I still wish I could get the whole reflection of myself by looking at art. Luca laughs, and all of the melody within him is in that laugh, where it is a true laugh. He might not even realize that he let it out. Wow. All the meaning you see is still in you. You don't need to look at, or listen to, or read anything at all to mean something. I really do hope that there is a filter on this thing. Or he'd be able to read the screaming, the pleading going on in my head. Burn all the paintings in the world, if only I get to see the smile, which is the instrument for such a meaningful laugh. Yu hugs his sides, finding a bashful simper tugging at the corners of his mouth. Okay. I don't want to presume anything, and perhaps you're busy, but... I look back, and they're probably still waiting for me. But, oh, I do have something later, and I hate to take up your time if you're busy. Maybe, never mind. But the only person back there with any meaning to me won't care. Won't care about anything. Because she's nothing now. So I turn back to you, or Haoyu. We'll turn forward to Haoyu. I know a great little place not too far from here. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if we cut through the residential area instead. It takes a bit longer, but there won't be any streets to cross. You think you have the time? Maybe. The grin so wide on the panda's large face makes any answer that may come through the transmitter obsolete. Haoyu jumps at what must be the bell above the door as I open it for him. Next to it is an opening leading to the kitchen, covered only by rainbow-colored drapes. Sorry. He retracts the cane and goes up into itself until it's a third of its original length. It just startled me. I take his paw carefully so I can help him to a table. It's a bit slick to the touch, shriveling slightly even. Are you sure you're alright? The paw presses into mine. A goat passes over his throat like a wave, a simple question having caught him off guard. I'm just nervous. I haven't gone out on that many days. The words carry on in my mind like they get stuck in a feedback loop. I haven't gone out to many places like this. I feel like I'm always doing something wrong. Like I'm bothered to the waiters who are just trying to do their job. And I make that job harder. Speaking of, a hair with gilded piercings across her entire brow, a mellow eyebrow raised in perpetual amusement, quickly closes in on us. Hands up. The waiter is coming over right now. His paw twitches and falls away from my grip. I sigh, knowing why Hippo's seeing such a display will make him uncomfortable. If you could see the waiter dressed as Dyke Supreme, all their pride flag plastered everywhere one's eyes may rest, perhaps you wouldn't feel the need to hide. True. Jessica, how are things? She rolls her eyes before glancing over at my company. Her girlfriend is also deaf, so she's had a longer time than I to perfect her sign language. She does it slowly for my benefit. Please don't call me that. I'll lose my credit. Okay. Does your whatever he is know sign language? Something wrong? I can just hear the music. Should we... No, go back. Should we leave? No. He says it out loud, but I still get the subtitles. Her honor is just being a jackass. She signs it as she speaks, so I know that she's calling me a jackass. I'm Ruby. Luca was just having a brain shock before. Are you also the reason I haven't seen Luca for like over 2 weeks? I grow and realize that what she asks and not being able to stop her and signing is slower than her mouth. What do you mean? I mean, are you... Oh! I sign stop about 10 times before she acknowledges me with an innocent smile. I'll clear a table for you. Thank you. She runs off and picks a table that has easy access to the exit and bathroom both to pick clean up cups and plates. She's an asshole, but consider her an asshole. Can I help you to the seat? My paw rests on his arm. It shrinks back. You may get the wrong idea. Literally everyone are some kind of queer here. I look over at the cafe to the other patrons. There's a lion sitting by the corner, typing fierce on the laptop. They have a mane, but their face is sharp. It's possible to tell what junior they could be, which I'm sure is just how they like it. Then there's 3 guys in the booth, an elephant who takes up the whole seat on one side. The other 2 are a rat and a mouse. They're like all together. Okay. I decided to not tell him that they, in a very drunken state, had told me that side is an indication of positions. Thinking about that makes me stammer out the next few words. In the booth next to them, have I seen these two before? It's an elderly couple. A little closer, and this I see a man and a woman on what seems to be a date here. People go on dates? I think man's face is just a little bit shorter than most other male horses. It's not important. What's important is that no one here will even notice that I be leading you by the paw. Yeah, no judgment. And so he takes mine and nods his head. There will be ambient sound of a cafe and lo-fi music and the noise of a chair being pushed across the floor. Okay, that's fine. Luca lets go of my paw as I get into the seat, swell enough that my sides don't press uncomfortably against the armrest. I feel both relieved and a bit mournful at the loss of his touch. I was used to needing someone to help me navigate, especially inside new places that were busy with people. But that was mostly by my parents or the assistant. It was expected of them, expected to be seen by others. With Luca, it was different. Or maybe it's just because I felt different when it was him. With my paws on my pants so he can't see, even though he must have felt how I'm sweating buckets. I resigned myself to the likely possibility that we were just going out to have something to drink. There's 2 disabled people bonding over that platonic kinship. But he'd taken me here to a place where he knew the staff and recognized people who were different in other ways, didn't have a disability. Same kind of different I was. So is this more than a platonic kinship? We're being different? Are we here because we're both the same? I really suck at this. Ruby coming in. I grip the side of the table to angle my head the way I think she'll be coming from. People often seem weirded out if I don't have my face in their general direction when they're talking to me. I'm supposed to keep up the pretense of eye contact or something. Yeah. So what can I get for you? She speaks slowly, a bit like certain nurses who conflate being blind with having a developmental disability. There's just so much I can do to not rip the table with my claws. A stinging stench of broken liquor escapes from where I dig through it. What does that sign mean? Which one? This. My claws loosen the grip they have of the wood, and I feel dumb for overreacting. She's making sure we both know what she's saying. Oh, that's like retrieve drinks, but also that I'm mixing them up. I see. Well, retrieve mix me the usual cup of espresso. Right, it's been so long I forgot your usual triple shot. Triple? Hey, I just work here. If he wants to have a heart attack, that's on him. I might get may get the rest of the day off to deal. No. To deal with the trauma of seeing him, you know? And you, wait, and you? Okay. I'm about to ask her for a cappuccino, but with how nervous I am, she may actually get to see someone die if I put more stress on my body with caffeine. Do you have chamomile tea with honey? Ruby, that's like spice. Huh? Or honey is just what usually goes into chamomile tea. I'm also a panda, so it'd be pretty good lady speciesism, and yes, with honey. Thank you. Neat. We use loose flowers for it, so it'll steep for 6 minutes. Luca, should I bring your heart attack with the tea? I know you like it scalding. Sounds great. Oh, and one of each of the Amerite and... oh, okay. Have eaten I like Haoyu to try your girlfriend's baking. Anyone can make cantuccini. I throw in 2 pieces of the panettone and it'll just go bad. No one likes it? Why are you surprised it doesn't sell? I know it's terrible, but she insists on making one every other day anyway. So the more I can pawn off on you two, the better. Lets for me to suffer through with a smile on my face so she doesn't think I hate her. That's the one's a win. I'll call you adorable for that, but you're making me suffer panettone. You have to press the whole thing down your throat if you call me adorable. Well, get your adorable ass to the espresso machine before I fall asleep. She nudged my shoulder and whispered, even though Luca wouldn't be able to hear it either way. She's getting a quadruple shot. The 4th is a shot of spit. Oh, that's not sanitary. If you tell him, there's a 50-50 chance the almond smell wafting from the cantuccini is actually cyanide. Oh. At this point, there's a 50-50 chance that wasn't a joke. I'm starting to feel scared. Maybe I won't touch anything you bring out. I'll tell Maria you think she should hang her apron up if you don't. Ruby past my shoulder, her exit leaves a vacuum in the space she'd been in. If we had a tipping culture here, I think she'd be homeless. That's messed up. She seemed pretty sincere. I don't feel like she saw me as an obstacle to navigate. Well, her girlfriend is dead, but she also won't discriminate who she is slightly demonic towards. Yeah. I chuckle, mostly in the bid to try and think of what to talk about. We can't exactly do so about the waiter the whole time. So, what do you do when you're not saving people from getting run over by trucks? Such a basic question. But he doesn't seem to mind, because he answers immediately. Right now, I'm just focused on getting used to things, I suppose. So it's very recent? I can't imagine what it would be like to have had sight before, and then have it taken from me. Would it be easier or harder? People say you can't miss what you've never had, but that's not true at all. Yeah. Personally, I work with archiving and translations at the Union Preservation Agency, so I should be able to go back. Just can't do the audios now. So you work for the government? Don't say it like that. You're making me sound awful. No, I didn't mean... I guess I do in fact work for the government as a glorified librarian. Don't worry, I'm not like weird. I wasn't really worried about how the union is. I just haven't had the best experiences with government agencies, you know? Yeah. I can imagine, yeah. If you don't mind me asking, were you born here or in Lux? Yeah. I was born here in Veneto, especially. My parents moved here 2 years before I was born. Mom's an engineer in energy technology, so she was pretty much bribed with union citizenship for herself and dad and a higher salary. That makes sense. Well, that's cool. She had to be a lead engineer at this point then. That's not a happy face. I'm sorry. I'm sure you don't want to hear me complain all day. I may suck at this, but I do know being whiny is a surefire way to make sure it won't be happening again. I don't mind, but we can talk about something else, like, what do you do aside from walking into traffic? Use claws, play scales against the table. His fingers would have been better suited for the piano than mine, but I learned how to work around it. I can't really work. I laughed to put him at ease. Hopefully it doesn't sound too unhinged coming out of my mouth. No, like, what do you do in general? You probably don't just sit motionless in an empty room just because you're blind. It's kind of silly. I hope so. People who enjoy stuff they don't feel the least bit embarrassed about aren't really living. I guess. I, for one, don't like to watch movies that are animated, probably substanceless, nothing but sensory overload. Maybe so my parents have something to distract their kids with while they day drink. Damn. You just watch those for fun? I'm obviously very fucking high when doing so. Okay, sounds like fun. Just working for the government really be talking about doing drugs. There will be ambient sounds at a cafe in lo-fi. Okay. Let me guess. Does someone working for the government really be talking about doing drugs? How do you think he gets a hold of drugs in the first place? He wouldn't survive a drug deal. Everybody won't. As you can see him, Luca looks very still. Okay. I'd be too caught up in the shock of hearing Luca's confession, I'd miss the clinking of the cups. Ray puts one of them down on the table near my paw. Sweet scented steam wafting up from it would have been enough for me to find it easily, though. Thank you. Thank you, miss. It's what I get paid for. Luca, you better be the one paying for this date. He's so polite, he called me miss. Hey, don't panic. Miss? Wait, do butches pay for dates? Do vapid twink adjacents pay for dates? Wait, you go straight for the poppers. Never mind. It's a mute question. Uncomfortable glitchy noises for a few text box? Okay. No, I'm not really like that. A panic pause is enough to give away for a moment of confusion. Air sparks electric current. Time dilates a second is a decade, and a decade is a second? Besides, I can't really be considered adjacent to a twink. No reaction to calling you vapid? Maybe it was nothing. A second is a second. A decade. A decade. You put like 3 insults into every sentence. I can't react to all of them. Also, you're disturbing are... Hayu's eyes are open so wide I can see the whites of them peeking over the edges of the black glass covering them. Oh god. Conversation here. Haoyu was just about to tell me something silly about himself. Silly? God, you guys are more sickly than the Pantone. Which is coming right up. Okay. The fur around Haoyu's nose creases as he takes in the smell of the thick slices of fruitcake Rui puts in front of us, along with the actually good cookies. Okay. Hopefully you like it. We hope you'll like it. We hope so. We won't. Rui rolls her eyes, mostly at me, before strutting back behind the counter to look bored and unwelcoming. I think it's an affection to ward off clientele she doesn't want in here. or affliction. I get my attention back at Haoyu, his paw trailing slowly across the rim of the plate until it finds the handle of the small fork by the side. It balances between his fingers, feeling that the weight is slightly off. He flips it around so the fork's teeth are angled correctly. Okay. I haven't had pantaloons before. I think, is it hard or soft? Soft and airy. There's small pieces of dry fruit in it. This isn't it closer to the cake and takes another sniff. Oranges and raisins. They smell a bit weird though. It's rum raisins. Grip around the fork is tight and a bit awkward as he carefully cleaves through the cake to get the appropriately sized piece. Most of the raisins get dislodged and fall onto the plate, which might make the experience just slightly more pleasurable, if anything. It's good. You don't need to do this. You can just run. Doesn't seem that bad. At least take a bite with me. No. A grin spread across his face, and unlike the usual timid and soft one, this cried with rubies and cruelty. Oh. If you don't, you won't get to hear that silly thing I was going to tell you before we were accosted by this cake. Take a bite. Really? Wow, bringing you here was a mistake. You're being corrupted by the evil dykes. Evil dyke, singular? Come on, you built this up so much that I'm actually nervous to try it. It's not more fair. Fine. I snapped the fork up with what I hope to be a theatrical little clank, able to show him how much of a sacrifice I'm making. Snooky raises our price I'm willing to pay to see him bite at the lower lip to hold in an amused chuckle. Is your face all scrunched up in disgust? Not as much as it will be when I put this piece in your mouth. Well, my mouth. Ruby's girlfriend is a really good baker. There's nothing wrong with the actual cake part. Perfectly fluffy and still moist despite the afternoon sun yawning outside the windows. The sensation ruined as my teeth pierced through a raisin's hard casing. It spills out its mushy inside on my tongue, sickly sweet with overtones of rancid bitterness. The sputtering I make isn't for show. At least you can't see the half-chewed fruit that I spit onto the plate. Saliva soaked cake slush along with it. I hate raisins. He's laughed so hard that he had that look of reminiscent of either screaming or yawning now that I can't hear anymore. Differentiating between them is mostly a matter of eyebrows, and whether or not I can smell smoke, I suppose. Chances are higher it's a scream then. Unless I'd be committing crimes with an arsonist. Ruby seems like the type who would find that fun. You silly thing better be good to justify putting myself through that. I sweep the coffee to wash away the rank film still lingering on my tongue. Scorched earth, that shit was scalding hot bitterness. The caffeine makes the silence in my brain all the more palpable. Look up to see Hayu's face, cast down towards the table. You really don't want to tell me. You don't have to. Don't laugh. Should have said the same before taking that bite. He brings the fork up to his mouth and eats the bite of cake without any preamble. Chewing slowly, he contemplates the verdict. Okay. It's not great. Maybe not throw up noise is bad. Huh? Great, then you can finish mine as well. It's not that bad either. See why it doesn't sell. So every Friday and Saturday, me and this group of friends, people I met on the internet, kind of come together in voice calls for a few hours. And we like play games, role-playing games, you know? We have virtual dice and go on quests and that kind of stuff. Okay. Sounds like fun. I feel cheated. It's not silly at all. Really? Aren't a lot of people doing it nowadays? It's like social gatherings for people who are a bit nerdy. And maybe not as close. So you think it's nerdy. It is nerdy. Don't make it sound silly or dumb or cringe or whatever you think. I might be thinking about it. There's nothing wrong with it. You have fun during the sessions, right? Hanging out, slaying dragons, charisma, rolling to sleep with the bartender. Or slaying the bartender and charisma, rolling to sleep with the dragon. If that is what I've heard, how those things go. I'm not sleeping with the dragon, but Tina is the one who does that. No judgment. Sounds like she's the queen of the nerds. No, she just likes to hear our game. Master smack his computer screen when she rolls a 20 every single time. So the universe is on her side. But just when it involves charming the pants off dragons. Okay. So you're more of a charming the pants off bartender type. And I like that. What? Charming or the bartender type? Is this your revenge for the cake or something? Or maybe I tried rolling for charisma myself and got a 1. Complete flusters, shut down, have flirted forever, so I'm not sure if this is good or bad. Bad? Sorry, but it sounds like a lot of fun. I want to try it at some point, but if it's voice calls, that might be... Oh yeah. You can set up speech to text. It's digital, so I'm sure there's a thing. Or we could even do a session in text chat only. Tasha is hitting with excitement. The idea of me trying out role playing either has him one step from hyperventilation because he's managed to recruit someone to a little nerdy cult, or maybe my dice rolls are decent after all. Here's hoping for the latter. Okay, cafe sounds are fine. Maybe he's just being nice while offering to try playing D&D with me and the crew. But he's been nothing but forward and sincere the entire time. Why would he suddenly start saying things out of pity now? And he is flirting. Wish I knew how to do it back, but my brain just feels completely hollow when I try to think of what to say or how to act. Maybe it would be easier with the crew. I know them, and I would even have the guys a roleplay to hide behind if I say something flirtatious to his character. Just have to remember to beg Valentine not to mention my dragon incident. Being into games like this is already weird to people. Best I can hope for when I mention it is hearing it. Oh, that's nice. Good that you're doing something in that damn condescending tone. And I don't care what he's saying. He would think that part was weird and cringe. Are you sure it wouldn't disrupt your group doing things differently? No, it's fine. During the first session, they didn't even know that I was blind until, well, I didn't know what the dice were saying because my screen reader didn't work with the program. Okay. Music's fine. That's right, he doesn't live in the Union. He's the only one who... Well, the others almost kicked him out of the group for saying a joke. Define joke. It's just one of those things people say, paired insult. I like to give people a chance to do better, you know? He's never ruined the girl. Yes. So you told the rest that it was fine? He sounds a bit upset. Voice rises just slightly over the staccato, getting increasingly used to. And then tell them that it was fine. They were going to throw him out because even though I'm aware that it's one of those things people say to be funny because someone else did it before, that's how that sentiment took root in their mind. I got upset. I wouldn't be able to control my voice right now either, but it's actually easier to speak like this. He's just getting the words unfiltered and unblemished by my emotions. Okay. Not upset, angry. I try not to get my hopes up over anything because it really worked out like I hoped, but my head hurts. Something's wrong with the receiver, I guess. Things are distorting. He said he didn't know how the device worked very well. Must be unaware how deep the transmitter is digging into my mind. It's trying to force out what my mind doesn't want to give. Okay. So mine, please. Luca has been nothing but understanding. I want to know him. What I want him to know. My spine tingles as the transmitter signal or whatever it uses to extract my thoughts is let back through to the speech center. New tech, right? Can you read me again? Yes, the pain in my head just vanished. So I got angry, because I felt lonely my whole life. It's already difficult to meet people like this. Harder still to find people who actually want to spend time with me. Impossible that such a person share the same interests, or that we can actually enjoy spending that time together. And here, in this group of possible people, there was still this asshole who didn't see it as more than anything than a punchline that he couldn't even come up with an original joke for. That sucks. So you yelled at him in the voice chat? I tried to, but then I started crying in the voice chat. Oh. I couldn't find the mute button or the leave button, so I pulled out the power cord. Damn. You're not done, are you? I was using the laptop, so that was obviously useless. Can you just have pressed the power button? I could have done that. But you were crying to voice chat people you didn't know? I was crying in voice chat with people I didn't know. People who might have muted their own mics to laugh at me. That tired joke. And then I was booted out of the call. Okay. What? Sorry. I move my paws from my ears, wincing grimace, push aside by a grin, hear my own anger reflected in Luca's voice felt nice. Actually, the anger is supposed to feel. My exact reaction at the time, but then Valentina wrote to me. She figured that I was having technical difficulties, so she had removed me from the call. And she also wanted to tell me that they were having a impromptu trial for Ezra that I could be the judge during executioner for. Okay. At first, I wasn't going to respond at all. This was dumb. I was dumb. Everything always sucked and always turned out this way. It always turned out that I'm dumb. I'm a dumb, pathetic wench. Right. I'm not sure what to say. I'm sure you didn't always turn out a dumb, pathetic wreck. But you cried in voice chat with role-playing games, so... didn't cry over that. Wait, were you joking? Tried to. I don't know what I sound like. It didn't come out in a jokey tone. It didn't, but you're right in a way. I was being pathetic, but you know, what's more so? Reasons. But this is your story. The crew was assigning roles of the court among each other to hold Ezra's trial. They were role-playing fucking courtroom? He was also trying not to laugh too loudly. I'm afraid that if I let myself, Ruby will throw a pot of coffee in my face for being too loud. Are you making this up? Because how disappointed you didn't deliver enough silly. Because this is just the thing I wanted to hear. It's unfortunately true, but that's why I wrote back. They were putting together this entire dumb trial completely seriously. I heard Ezra say what he said and could have said nothing. I settled for I don't say that, you know? No. In a way where they're really saying, they'll say that where he can hear it. One of the benefits of not being able to hear, people can talk behind my back all they want. He stands so abruptly that the glasses fall off his face. I lose sight of them as they pass the end of the table. Okay. Sorry. What? Oh, that was a joke again. We don't need to roleplay court over you using the word here. Haoyu gets back into his chair and starts to comb down the fur on his cheeks and chin. Nikki's caught up in his own embarrassment to notice the glasses are missing. They find his glasses. Overreacting again, I think. Would someone as chill like Luca even care or notice something like what Ezra has said? No, it wasn't the same thing. I was just having that on my mind and got scared I was doing the same thing. Scared that while being less cautious with my words for once, I'd gone and screwed it up. I interrupted you. You want to finish the story, or can I guess what you're going to say? I'm a great listener, so I think I know what it was going to be. I nod my head for him. You wrote back because your crew, I think you called them. Yeah, your crew, these people who didn't even know you, care so much about seeing you hurt. The kind of hurt that made you feel pathetic, feeling hurt. That they acted to the full extent of what matters to them. The core of their connection. Roleplay. So you can be a bit pathetic. Well, here's your people. A crew that settles things by assigning roles in an extrajudicial court. And I think I understand why you wanted to give Ezra a chance to be better now. But I'd like you to tell me that part. I want to read it in your words. I didn't want to take away the hope that I found in that little crew from someone else. And there were words that weren't even his. He was just the mouthpiece for the words that this world wants me to believe about myself. I never said that out loud before. I hadn't even thought the word so concretely. When Luca asked me to put my reasons for staying into my own words, I know that's what I've felt ever since that day. His shoulders said like they are finally free of some invisible weight, free of those words that the world has made him believe about himself. At least a little bit, I hope. He's a much better person than I am. I probably had sent this Ezra guy death threats or something. He's also a lot stronger than I am too, isn't he? Open up like this to me, understanding someone who hurt him. Not that forgive them for yourself bullshit. No, he came to the conclusion that there wasn't even anything to forgive in the first place. But what if the person you can't forgive is yourself? When you know there is something in you that can never be forgiven. I pulled my phone out of my pocket from my jacket. First time since going out to chain smoke. 27 missed calls. 39 unread messages. I slide it back into the pocket. Shouldn't I be happy that I'm not there anyway? Do they just want me to be there so I can suffer a fraction of the suffering I've caused? Isn't losing my hearing punishment enough? I'm dragged out of my contemplations. The entire table shakes when Haoyu jumps in the seat. What? And your surname doesn't happen to be Moretti? Did you stalk me online or something? Whatever you found is photoshopped, I promise. What I found? No. It's just that the radio said the song they're playing was made by Luca already. Shit. and that he wrote it about his girlfriend. It's very beautiful, but it's also make me feel sad. Is that bad? Okay, that's bad. Hello? You have to really love her if you wrote this for her. World. I am running from my problems. I thought we had a truce. But why is it so sad? Well, fuck you, world. I'm ignoring your calls. What's going on? It's a breakup song. I see Ruby Larry jumping both in the air, back over the counter, having abandoned the old couple's table. She glances back at me quickly before turning the knob on the radio. Okay. Yeah, that's better. The song is taken away from me mid-song, placed by some screeching noise, and I'm quite sure it's supposed to be punk. Oh. Luca doesn't elaborate, which is fine by me, at least for now. I'm gonna need a minute to pick up the pieces of my heart. After the word girlfriend shattered it into a million pieces. I think it's the end of the world. Ruby incoming. Feel the smell of a coffee pot coming from the side of our table as she stops by. How was that pantomime? Or are these your glasses? They're on the floor by you, so I'll take that as a yes. She sounds different, like the quintessential waitress, cheerful and compliant. What's going on? Thank you, they were probably mine, and the cake was, edible. How's the best review it's gone so far? Like I will just tell the lovely chef that you adored it and would like to bring the entire cake home. No. Please say yes. You don't need to eat it. I just want it gone. Okay. That works. Okay. Thanks. Let me get you some more tea. I'm good. The smell of the coffee leaves the spot beside our table. Does she look angry? Angry? Not more than usual, no. Okay, sorry. Sometimes it just feels like people put on a voice, even if they're actually angry with me. But it's probably nothing if you look normal to you. Luca, you absolute piece of garbage. She's signing it slowly to get every single word across, as if the rage on her face wasn't clear enough. Dang, what happened? Did you two break up recently, or I guess it must have been a while ago. He looks as nauseated as I feel. You broke up kinda recently? The fuck? But like, I'm just a bit confused because I just... He sighs. You're not gay? I'm like, bye, I guess. It seemed to help a little bit at least. Yeah, that makes sense. I got confused because, you know, you had a girlfriend, but we are in this cafe. Tell him now, you goose. Yeah, tell him. Tell him. Why is it so damn important that I tell him right now? We just met. Tell him. He was digging through the slice of cake on his plate, fork picking out the piece of the raisin. He seemed lost in thought, just eating something to occupy his pause. It's not that I need to tell him in case he's going on more dates or something like that. I don't see that as a reason, but not the one that sways me. Tell him. I need to tell him to even get to deserve seeing him again. He's been so nervous since the get-go. And still he's told me that things that must have been difficult to get out. And I've been sitting here like some therapist who imagined himself to have all the answers. I'm not guarded put together. A coward who just told himself he's above others. Haoyu? The paw punches around the fork. He angles his face towards me. Hmm? I need to tell you something. Something that isn't a lie this time. Oh, is it silly? No, but it's something you need to know about me. She seems happy. The fork swayed between his fingers, balancing between what he expects me to say, words to dig into him, or words he can grasp hold of. Okay, so the table starts to vibrate. Fork tips over and bounces twice on the table, both silently clanking down to the floor. Haoyu was too occupied searching for the phone shaking around on the table to chase after the utensil. It's not until he's managed to grab it that I realize I probably should have been helping. But now that I've been interrupted, all that determination is flooding out of me. I just feel dazed. Should still tell him. He speaks on the phone in short sentences. I've got that headache again, accompanied by the scrambling letters from the receiver. It can't be more than 10 seconds until he swipes across the screen and puts the phone into his pocket, putting more until the headache subsides. I'm really sorry. I feel that thing I mentioned before. It's really nice to talk to you, Luca. Damn. I don't know how I'll feel after this, but well, I'd like to talk to you again. You said that you like to try to roleplay anything, but just spending time the two of us would be also be nice and well, yeah. He slaps his face with the expression of a nervous laughter. I used nice too much, didn't I? Feeling more confident for a while, but now it's just trying too hard. Now I look stupid instead. I'm sorry. You're fine. Can I come with you? I'll be okay on my own. You don't have to. I have to. I just can't throw in what I need to say with the goodbye. But I also can't just leave things like this. Too much of a coward. If I don't do it today, I never will. And Haoyu will wonder what he did wrong this time. And he's been nothing but perfect. He would give me a chance, just like she would have. They're both perfect and so much better than I could ever be. So I'll let them give me a chance. Because I don't want this to be over. It won't be any fun, I'm afraid. Also, I don't know where we are. You look at the map on my phone. The boat we're going to should be in the list that pops up if you press the middle side button. Hmm. I take the phone from his shaking paw, press the scuff button on the side of the phone. Phone app open, well, pops open, and there's a list of places like home, clinic, places he'd visit often. Which one are we going to? I was angry when I named it. It's the place blew up. Okay. First name title takes me to a place. I'm sure it's first on the list of places to blow up for a lot of people. I know the place. When is your appointment? It's in 20 minutes. That's why they called me. We should get there on time. So are you sure you want me there at all? We've already seen how pathetic I can be. So what's some more? Fuck those Stronzies for making him feel like this. Blood damn building up myself. Okay. And that's when she found out that I'd archived the old man's dirty letters with the death reports from the children's hospital in the same folder. What? It's a confused way you still have a job. At least people aren't likely to look up children's death reports from a defunct hospital. Then isn't it just my luck that my supervisor only found out about this? The big leagues from union central government have requested them as part of their budgetary material for allocation of funds to Benito. So, why do you have a job? Personality hire? Speaking of hiring people with no personality, I'm afraid we've arrived. Luca had made a good effort distracting on the way here with the honestly mind-boggling amount of mishaps he's had as an archiver. But now, nothing can distract anxiety crawling its way up to my throat from my stomach. The dry yet wet mold smell hits me, even though we're still outside the building. My face didn't get much in terms of a fund allocation, did it? Would it be generous to consider that they are like that because the black mold got to their brains? That's fair. We stand here in silence for a while. I know I have to go in at some point. Whatever seconds I can delay, the inevitable is a second I'm willing to take. Okay, let's just get this over with. And so Luca opens up the doors to the Health and Social Services Center. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. Wasn't for the sake of the building, I might have thought they used dying lamps on purpose. Psychological weapon. It's difficult to get their questions correct when your head is splitting apart from a headache. I grip my cane harder, instead of folding it up. Through the buzzing, there's an ambient noise of the people breathing in their seats. I'm never trying to sit down here, or I might end up in someone's lap. For the first time, I think I turned 18. Hello? I've been so nervous. I had spent the morning throwing up. Mom had wanted to come along like she did for everything else, but it had felt like an adult moment I had to do on my own. Prove that I could do it on my own because I was so naive back then. I thought that it was the moment where life would open up for me. This place would support me as being independent, would let me live on my own. 7 years later, and the one night I had spent away from home was in some hotel in the city 2 hours away from this one. Also, the guy I had on took the encouragement to, hello? Luca's touch around my cane paw made me twitch. Remember that he was here while I went through an internal recount of how everything had always sucked. This place tends to force me into. Should I tell them you're sick? You look sick. So it made it difficult to convince them. Having someone with me for once does put my mind at ease, at least a bit. Not enough to put away the cane, however, but I let him keep a hold of my paw. I'll still need to do it later, and this time it could be important. I think they have a decision for application I sent in. A good decision. It's never been a good decision before, but if this application didn't make a strong enough case to convince them, I don't know what more I could even do. What's it for? To help me live on my own. Do you deny that? Okay. Ah, hey, there you are. Didn't see you standing here by the entrance. Just about to call again. Okay. My handler, the person here who has been in charge of my case with the high turnover, barely have enough time to learn their names, so I just think of them like my handler, who has been dealt the duty of dealing with me. Damn. You have someone help you get here? Was Stinzy sick? I don't know if she's sick, but this is Luca, a friend. Well, isn't that nice? She's saying that it's nice that I came here with a friend, and that I'm shocked you have those way. Luca chuckles softly. I'm deaf, so you would have to communicate things to Haoyu, unless you know sign language. Oh, are you? Is your friend here for an appointment as well? Not that it's busy with another person at the moment, and she is the only one here for today who knows how to sign. Perhaps he is here to see her? Nope, I'm just support. No, Luca is just keeping me company. He works at the preservation agency, so I did not think that he has been here for aid. You're an imperial with such prestigious job? Yep. Does she hear herself, or has the black mold eroded her self-awareness? Well, tell Luca he can sit down by the water cooler if he aims to wait here for you, unless you would like him to sit with us. That's alright, I will tell him. She said that you can sit by the water cooler, just don't drink from it. Alright, noted. Will you be long? I'll wait here either case. I just want to know if I should scroll for a bit on social media or actually bring up an ebook. I'm not sure if it's a good decision ebook that, then I don't think there will be much else to talk about. He presses my paw once more before letting it go, leaving the cane to be the only thing keeping me together. I'll just go with an AFK game so I can simply lock my phone when you're done. Good luck. Went through the last part close in hopes that the handler can't hear him, or sauntering down to wherever the water cooler is. I'm sure I'd hear it if it wasn't for the buzzing. Shall we? You can grab my arm. No one wanted to touch me, so I started walking to the same room we always sit in, making sure to sweep the cane in front of me in a half circle, even though I don't really need it for the short walk through a straight corridor, just so she doesn't try to help. Anyway. Okay. Okay, that's fine. She left the door slightly ajar. Like I said at first, I hurried to the chair while she closed the door. It's not a very good chair. Armrests dig into my side, so there's no room to left to actually rest my arms. Keep them in my lap, rolling the cane between my paws. Okay, okay. She steps around me to get to the other side of her desk. It smells harshly of lemon-scented cleaning product. Sorry about the lamp. Last week, the one in here also started to be a bit noisy. I don't mind if you turn it off. I flick a claw against my glasses and do my best to smile. Let her know it's a joke. She's too serious to laugh at it though. Oh, hey. I thought we talked about that. Making such self-deprecating jokes can make us internalize them. My bad. I missed the last handler. She hadn't worked as a psychologist before downgrading social services. Didn't feel like I was talking to someone who was constantly on the lookout for what was wrong with me. Alright. How are you feeling today? I was feeling good, better than most days, until I had to go here. Why do they ask that question to people here every single time? This place where the question has right and wrong answers. This place that decides our fate depending on the answer. I'm feeling alright. The middle of the road answer, which you may interpret it any which way. And that's the reason that they'll be like, oh great, so we can give you the bare minimum and things are going so well. Nor so bad that you don't get anything at all. What does happen if you say you're doing absolutely awful? They'll probably try to pawn you off somewhere else so they don't have to deal with the problem. That's good. How did you come in with someone else? Is he from that online group you mentioned before? No. I don't know why I had told her about the crew when she asked about my social activities. Her reaction would have been better if I had just said that I didn't have any social activities at all. Well, it is what it is. I know online friendships are common nowadays, but it is much better for your mental health to also engage with some real ones too. She's not wrong. No, he's not from there. There's some rust in the papers on the desk. Is he someone you met through an app? No. She's checking my file, check if I'm gay. Keeping a record that doesn't sound like it should be legal. Yeah. Sounds a little suspect. Sorry, but it would be alright if we started things. I don't want to keep Luca waiting for too long. He's throwing the rest of the papers around even more. Sorry, Haoyu, we can't approve your application. Damn. Why? Please calm down, Haoyu. No need to raise your voice. I feel out correctly. Which part was wrong? Maybe I can explain it more in detail face to face. Perhaps I can assure you that if I could handle all the requirements for independent housing. I'm sure you would think so now. Some of these things even slighted people struggle with. If you apply to assisted living, it might be a different story. I don't want that. It's like trading a jailer to live in a damn prison. Your mother isn't your jailer, Haoyu. Isn't it unfair to call her that when she's only doing what's best for you? As would the assistants if you chose assisted living. What? You're denied the application because it's what's best for me? Simple words, yes. There's also a decision based on budget and your current life circumstances. Complete vision impairment has very high needs. Unfortunately. Living alone, which is already an expensive accommodation, requires someone to be present to help you with many basic tasks. Currently, your mother is able to provide housing to help with many of these tasks. And, unfortunately, she's, I guess, not wrong. She sacrificed so much already. Her job, her marriage, her life. I can't get the words out. Everything sucks. Always. I was an idiot for daring to hope it'll be different this time. I understand the need for independence. I really do, Haoyu. You would get some of that with assisted living, and it would even be easier for you to make new friends there. you will live with people who really get you in group housing. No. It's all I managed to choke out. It's unfortunate you see things that way. It's the best option for everyone. Were it that had an infinite, were it we had infinite money, maybe trying things your way would be possible. Yeah. But me, my supervisor, and most importantly, the guidelines of the state, deem that the funds for this should be allocated to meet the need of someone for whom we are more sure that would be a sustainable solution for. I get up on my unsteady feet, trying to fight the armrest to make them let me my slides free of captivity. Oh, let me, yeah, okay. Hey, we have more things to discuss. Right to get yourself is fine, but I hurry out the back door I hadn't even noticed until Haoyu ran past me in the waiting room. It opens into a dingy alley. Haoyu, who was holding his cane with both paws to beat the absolute shit out of a metal trash can. I can't have been more than 10 seconds behind, but it's already covered in cavities. This cane is titanium. Something so thin should be breaking from this. Damn. I'll beat the fuck out of that trash can. I don't think that noticed me. Not sure why staff members and their security guards aren't swarming out behind me. The whole block has to be hearing this. At last, the cane in this pause is unable to last any as an instrument of trash can rage. Sends a few centimeters from the handler, shooting up in the air, and with your arc 5 meters up to make sure it won't come down to impale Haoyu, busy as he's trying to figure out why the weight in his paw suddenly decreased. Because he snapped that thing. He broke that thing. Or why he can't make loud trash can noises. He chucks the handle into the side of a container at about the same time, and the rest of the cane attempts to stab down to the ground. It doesn't do more than chip the spot before falling over and starting to roll towards me. Should I find something else you can use? I think that trash can has a bit more life in it. It was a bad decision. I know. With everything after she told you about it, I guess anger makes the filter confused. Oh, I'm sorry you had to see this. It's okay if you want to leave. Why would I leave? Because now you see my anger issues. How you slumps down against a container, not being able to stand up anymore. He takes his sunglasses off and puts them carefully on the ground beside him so he can put his full face in his paws. These aren't anger issues. I stand down next to him on the other side of the glasses. They are. I get like this every time they deny me. It's just worse this time. I really thought it could work. I just feel so fucking dumb and pathetic. You're not, and they're not angry issues. You're just angry, which you should be. Take his paw in mine and grip it tightly. Those mold fucked assholes suck absolute ass. You're not asked for much. The option to live on your own is something everyone deserves. You deserve it. But hey, but they're right. I'm useless. I wouldn't be able to. Just think that because you made you beg on your knees for simple shit for years. Funny allocation my ass. The government's bleed money into useless bullshit like the military every year. This would be nothing to them but life changing for you. Oh. Reach over his knees to pick up the glasses with the paw not occupied holding his and put them back on his face. Reach over, okay. I then help Haoyu get to his feet and lead him over to the door of the building. So be fucking angry. You had the right to be upset. Kick the door as hard as I can. What if they come out? Imagine them as a trash can because they're trash, but don't beat them. I accentuate how trash they are with another kick. The door jumps precariously on its hinges. Haoyu taps the ground with his shoe a few times before giving the door a careful kick. The fuck was that? You wouldn't be able to hear it. Kick so hard my eardrums shatter all over again. Well, let's not do that. Luke's ready to just run away for a moment, but then he steels himself and uses the bare strength in him to kick a deep hollow in the door as it wraps around his shoe. Yeah, had to allocate some of those funds to renovate this place. We're doing a public service. Okay. Let's go of my paw to get free movement to swing his leg back further with the kicks. I do my best to keep up to give one of my own in between every time he gathers up for another one. Okay, vandalism. Let's... Yeah. Yeah, you're not exactly small, but understood. Yeah, you're a big ass fucking panda. Fuck him. Hey, my dad, he left my mom all alone because he couldn't handle some responsibility. That's a dad. They always leave. Wow. Wow. Words come forth in quick flashes with every kick. I duck my head when he pulls back his fist to avoid the elbow. I think it's time that y'all take off because that's definitely vandalism. You gasp. I realize we don't have time for that when a woman with dead eyes and an even more dead smile comes out of the room Haya's been in. I pull his fist out of the door window while she's busy distracted, taking in that the water cooler is quickly making a puddle around itself. I don't think she's even moved at all. She's probably like, damn. Yeah, well, y'all should run. You broke your cane. Paw slippery with blood that streams from the cuts over his paw, saying the black fur even darker. You don't have the time to switch paws while I lead him with confidence I can muster into a full sprint out the alley and down the side streets we're less people to crash into. And for 2 blocks I chance a glance back. Even though he's completely out of breath, probably never been able to run at his speed or this far in his life, how he was laughing. And seeing that, I know where we must run towards. Towards the future and towards the church. We finally start running. I wish I hadn't broken my cane because I don't know what to use as support. I'll try to remember how breathing is supposed to work. Luca offers me his shoulder, leaning against it. I can hear teeth grinding and clattering inside his mouth. Why did we run to the church? It's one of the same thing when we first met. It's all part of your perfume, but I hadn't smelled roses since we left for the cafe. Yeah, it's the same place. You don't seem like the religious type. It's not even Sunday today. No Sabbath. There are very few reasons. Luca may have been to the church from what I've come to know of him today. Either a wedding or a funeral. That's why I was here. That sucks. We don't spend the day together and you're already sounding more like me. No, I mean, my condolences. Some kind of fence protest, Luca pushes an arm between two of its posts, reaching into the backyard of the church. He grunts and flails around like he's pulling on something. Wherever that something gives into his throat, the fragrance of roses grows stronger as he pulls himself back out. I never want to hear or read or whatever the condolences ever again. It's one of those things people just say because what else is there to say when someone's died? Sorry for your loss. No one gets what loss is for anyone else. I lied before. There was no breakup. She died. She died and it's my fault. What do you mean it was your fault? The prospect of that Luca may have murdered his girlfriend becomes a bigger question than all the other ones. Even so, strong, open, perfect. Not perfect. Not strong either. Open? I think you might mean oversharing. Fine. The only imperfection that blemishes you is that you don't even know how perfect you are. I'm not sure what to say. I am. I need to say that I'm not perfect. If I'm not strong or open, I lie. If I consider to keep lying to you, is that shitty? Isn't that awful? Maybe it is a bit awful. I asked him right after telling him about the crew, but he wouldn't lie about it, just having a girlfriend that's died. Would he? As I said, I'm not perfect either. All we can do is try to change when we realize that. It's like you made me realize, because I'm allowed to be angry. Maybe I should have waited with that until after this, You're stalling. It's okay if you want to keep lying. If it's too hard to show me the truth, just tell him. Fuck you. Now I have to do it. Come on, we need to go inside. Church is empty. No people or priests. No corpse. Should have known it would have been over by now. They couldn't wait for me forever. I pulled up the roads I managed to rip out of the bush on the other side of that fence. I'm sure God will forgive me for stealing from his garden. He's on a great track record for that. Well, he's got a great track record. It's pale pink, anemic to the point where it almost looks to be white rose in the dimly lit church, where the only light is the evening sun filtered through the stained glass window. She never even liked flowers. Said that it was always reminded her of our time here so limited. We're plucked off the bush at birth without ceremony, and then we just start to wither away. Pretty and full of life, yet not for more than an instant. Not for more than an instant. I placed the flowers on the top step leading up to the altar, marble stained by spilled wine, and I just stare at it. At this dead, pale, withering thing left amongst spilled communion, blood, this house of God where it wasn't welcome in, until the love of God will be mute in its ear. Okay. My legs give out, so I kneel by the steps to the altar and look out past the angel of the stained glass window at the setting sun. We met in college about 6 years ago. I was all new to the big city. starry-eyed, talking in the sights, and the freedom of being able to meet guys without the small village mindset hanging over my shoulder. Not that there were even were guys to meet in the small village I grew up in. And then I met. Sorry, maybe this is confusing. Before she started to transition, she always was what she was, right? I said no at the time. When I met her, I just saw this cute and kind of timid wolf who didn't talk a lot. I didn't pay much attention to her because there were just so many things I was losing myself in. But one day, I'd forgotten my folder of sheet music in the music room. Everyone had it pretty much left, so I was wondering why the door to the arts room was still open, and I walked past it. Maybe someone had forgotten to lock up. And there she was, black fur streaked with paint, the deep blues of night and stark white of the moon in front of a huge canvas, making mad strokes with the brush, much like the mad grin on her face. She didn't even notice me where I stood in the opening of the door, watching as she painted life into this chaotic night painting, wondering how I could ever overlook this person as a background extra in my new life. Finally, she put the last stars to the sky, the last bit of mad life into the chaos, so I asked her out for coffee. Without a brush in her paw, she once more seemed like the timid and silent guy, unsure of how to paint herself in the world. She said yes. A week after that, she said yes to come home with me. A month after that, she said yes to be my partner. Okay. 2 years after many no's, she said yes to make a home with me. A small place, not room for much more than a bed, my piano, and her art, but it was the happiest I'd ever been. But not the happiest she could be. Her art turned madder, painful. I didn't understand what was wrong. Was I hurting her? I came home that night after playing for a charity auction. I don't know what the charity was for, but my name was on people's lips. So I brought some expensive wine and treated that they served to rich patrons, make them more pliable, spend more money on charity. The canvas is torn to shreds by desperate claws. Crusted red paint making it look like open wounds in the sickly moonlight. The bottle of wine crashed into the floor as I rush in. For a moment I'm terrified, but no, the red and the black fur is not pouring out of open wounds. It's only paint. I looked into broken, terrified eyes from where he kneels on the floor in front of me. Is this my fault? I'm not what you need me to be? Of course you are, you're perfect. No, look, I hate myself. Do I look the way I feel? And suddenly I knew. It's not you, is it? It never was. Was it? I have to do it. I know that I'll lose you, but I have to. And I kneel on the floor with her, the red of paint and wine standing both our paws. I take hers in mine. You're perfect to me now, and that won't change. I'll be here, before, during, and after, until you are as perfect to yourself as you are to me, and then I'll be here forever. I love you, but do I have love all this time and forever? And she looks out the window to the moon, refracting like a galaxy in eyes swimming with tears of relief. Luna. Luna the wolf? Don't laugh. It's a classic, even if it is a bit silly. I don't know if Haoyu is still behind me, but this confession is not only for him, after all. I wrote the song for her, little by little, note by note, but she changed little by little, note by note. Until all those notes became perfect to us both. Okay. And I destroyed everything. I was driving us to the Union Concert Hall of Benito. Her piece was going to premiere as the opening for a big pianist from Rosia. She was finally so happy. And I took it from her before it could even fucking premiere. So God or the world or whatever fucking took my hearing as punishment so I could never hear their perfection I killed ever again. Okay. I gasped for air when my knees hit the edges of the steps hard. And you lifts me off the floor by the collar of my shirt and swings me around to face his judgment. But his face isn't filled with anger or terror, I'd imagine. It's just painful. Punished? You think you lost your hearing as punishment? Of course I did. Then what was I punished for? What? No, that's different. How? How was it different? You were born with blindness. I became deaf in a crash. Consequence of my actions. Would it be a punishment if it was you that died and she was the one that lived on? Would you want her to suffer the guilt of what? Karmic silence? Of course not. It was an accident. Just something that happened. She didn't die because she did anything wrong. You didn't become deaf because you did anything wrong. It takes the glasses off. It makes me want to die, but because I know he's right. If I accuse the world of punishing me for what I've done, I'm accusing it for Haoyu's pale, cloudy eyes. I wasn't born blind because I did something. He trails off and I'm taken back to that broken night, open wounds of terror. Right. They're so alike, aren't they? No, they're not. I'm just seeing parts of myself reflected in them, but I wish that I could be. I take his paw and I let them envelope mine. He presses down hard. Right, you're right. It sucks, but it happened. It's meaningless. Things happen, and that's that. We did nothing wrong. We don't deserve forgiveness. Because there's nothing to forgive. Luca rests his shaking lips against my paw, and I make sure to let him know that I'm here by pressing onto his, hidden within the embrace of my thick fingers. Thank you. Wait here. I let go of his paw and I just hear his shoes scuff against the floor as he turns to wonder what I'm doing. So yeah, someone with a bottle of wine by this bench. There's still a cork in the bottle, even though it's been opened before, unless it's still the scent lingering on the cork itself. Are you like stealing church wine? I know I took a rose, but that's supposed to be the blood of his son. Or himself, I guess. I shake the bottle around to hear how much is left, and I hold it up to him, see that it's at least half full. I don't believe any God. It's just wine that someone forgot that'll go bad otherwise. We might as well drink it. Hmm. God doesn't like waste, so it'll probably like cancel out any sins anyway. But what? You want to drink it here? No, no, this place feels too depressing. I have somewhere I'd like to take you. Well, where I would like you to take me, I suppose. I handed my phone. It's a place I called First Kiss. Without my cane, I would usually have felt vulnerable walking through the city searching for a bus stop. Vulnerable being on the bus, feeling wet with no finger out if any of the designated seats were occupied. Vulnerable making the trek from the bus to a little hill almost outside the city. But not tonight. Now with Luca barely using the phone's map to find the bus stop. Now with Luca threatening the group of teens refusing to move from the spacious handicap, forcing you on the bus. Now with Luca finding the path of flattened grass leading up to the spot on the hill. Mm, okay. He pulls an arm out from where it rests in my lap and wraps it around his own shoulder as if it was a scarf. It's chilly tonight. It's already November. Time has kind of just passed along without wanting to check if I'm keeping up. I pull him tighter against me. I can't feel the cold myself because sitting here with Luca fills me with warmth, but it's less the nervous, sweating kind of heat like before. It's the steady warmth of safety. You should be wearing a warmer jacket. The one you have feels like it's made out of plastic. It is made out of plastic. Vinyl, you know? I thought that was just for those old records. Why would they make clothes out of it? It's shiny and quite form-fitting, and a pair of black pants made out of vinyl as well. Makes my assets really stand out. Okay, well, that's one way to go about it. I get a flash of sweaty nervous heat, but feel safe enough with Luca that I decided to risk saying anything. Or something, well, risque. I blamed the church wine, but shared between the two of us, I wasn't even feeling buzzed. It's too bad I wouldn't be able to see those assets for the finals. Poor fitting, I could use something other than my eyes to get a better picture. My Haoyu, I'm not even a dragon. Or bartender. Luca digs a paw through the front of my jacket and puts it against my side, with a thin layer of the shirt underneath keeping us apart. For warmth. Must have scored a nat 20. Starry sky jingled above us, so the perfect spot to end the night, away from the city and the mess of life. Just the two of us. I really had wanted to sit closer due to the cold. I used jacket is thick and comfortable, and so was he. I just blood flirting, which took me aback to be honest. I don't feel particularly cold anymore, and I'll leave a damp spot on the shirt where my paw is. I'm happy to be out of help for that. Was it this cold when the namesake of the spot happened? His confident grin turned a bit more bashful. I feel maybe a bit relieved that he hadn't had a total personality change into a shameless playboy in just one day. Do you really want to hear about that? Hey, you had to hear me have a complete breakdown about my past. I don't mind hearing about yours. It's not really that interesting. Everything you tell me about yourself is interesting. Okay, well, I went to the school for people with disabilities. It wasn't a very big school, and classes were often mixed because everyone had different needs there. What lessons were pertaining to vision impairment, everyone were together. Okay, makes sense. I didn't like going there. Just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you can still, they can't still be an asshole, and there were a lot of assholes. So I didn't make any close friends. Unless the boy with cerebral palsy transferred in. The assholes in that school were like the most mean to kids like him. Even though he had trouble speaking or even using his arms well, he was super confident. Put up a fight and then make their shit. Well, didn't take their shit. First, I just thought that I was jealous. Wanted to be more like him. Whenever someone was mean, I just took it. Did you try to be in the same room as him, like always? Just in case there would be an opportunity for you to talk to him? I was gonna skip that part, but yeah. I think that's so adorable. Ruby spat in your coffee. Oh. For real? She didn't actually do it today. I'll ask her to make good on the thread next time. I keep making fun of my awkward first crush. I'm not making fun. Okay, I was making fun of it, even though it does sound adorable. There's not gonna be any shots of alcohol, actual coffee in your cup of spit at this rate. Yeah, I'll let you continue until you skipped over the adorable part. Good, so I befriended him in a very cool, confident way. It didn't take me a half year to muster up the courage to speak to a single word in 1 kilometer radius around him. Nice. I like to hike around in nature, but it wasn't allowed to go do it by himself. Actually, we weren't allowed to go just the two of us either. There's always someone with us. This is one assistant realized that we wanted to at least pretend he wasn't stalking us, so he also stayed some way behind us, at least far enough that he could still see us. Okay. That's nice. Afternoon, the assistant was still behind the bend, some trees, so paw and paw we ran away. My assistant didn't have eyes on us. Probably not safe, but you're still alive, so I'll approve of it. I'm sure 15-year-old Haoyu would love the approval of a government-employed adult. Yeah, that's what every 15-year-old strives towards. We had no idea where we were going. I mean, especially not me, but we ended up on this hill, and I just sat here. The marsh chilled as the sun was setting. First time either of us had ever been alone, even though the assistant was searching for us in a panic. It was the only opportunity that I would ever to tell him what I felt with someone else being there. It wasn't just that I liked him, it was about myself. So I told him, and I told myself that I was gay. I ain't mentioning that he had anything to do with it. Yes, I wanted to kiss him, and I said I wasn't sure. That's too bad, was the answer to that. Because I wanted... Okay, so they did kiss, right? The whole cafe spent on coffee and need be, because that is adorable. It is. Haoyu hides behind the paw. Please shout louder. I don't think all of the city heard. Whatever, we're not in hiding from an assistant looking disturbed. Two boys' first adorable kiss. Did you love him? I don't know. I thought I did. Maybe I just loved the freedom that I felt in that kiss and telling him about myself. I always thought that freedom wasn't for people like us. I still doubt that it is, even now. Fuck him. Fuck him off and making you doubt that. Yeah. What happened to him? He moved a month after that. His parents decided that being among so many people was too much pressure. I think they moved to Gallia. Anyway, I have no idea where he is now. Yeah. Would you like to know? He's been government employed adult powers to try and find him. Please tell me that's not legal, but no. If I met him by chance, it would be nice to know he's doing alright. But I don't need to know. It can just be a story about my first kiss, a story about my first taste of freedom. I think he's doing alright. You might never know, so we can decide that he's happy. Sitting on some hill in Gallia, Rosia. Moving right now, arm wrapped around someone and telling them of his first kiss on the hill, just like the one they're on now. Yeah, could be, just living happily somewhere. Oh, for that person that he's gotten better at kissing. Look up at the sky further away from the city. There's less light pollution. A lot more stars visible out here. Someone's as grand and alive as this painting. Yeah, tell Haoyu about the first kiss of mine that really mattered some night. But not this night. Not under the night sky. But it isn't hers. This one is Haoyu's. His hill, his moon, and stars. Is there a hill on this moon? Are our first kisses sitting on it? Looking down at us and waiting for us to have our own? Am I free to be free? Moon smiles at us. Luca's body relaxes against mine, sinking the back of his head so it's cushioned in my armpit. I relax too. Are there stars visible? Yeah, the moon too. Not a single cloud in the sky. It's like we're under the starry night sky, but they're just meaningful nothings. I just see my own reflection if I could. If I could see it. Okay. I see warmth and safety twinkling down at me. Just a painting of burning and happy suns, light years away, reflecting my own burning and happy sun, that's breathing deeply just next to me. But what do you see? What do the stars look like to you? They're beautiful. Luca's lips meet mine. I use lips apart. That is cute. And they both deserve to be happy in their own way. One can't see, one can't hear, but together they can be free together. That's nice. If you're trying to make you feel small or less than, fuck them. You deserve freedom and happiness. Horny mess is over. Thanks for playing. And that is facts. So this game is called Stars in Your Eyes. If y'all want to play this for yourselves, of course I will link everything below, but that is it. So yeah, take that message and let it sizzle in your spirit. Hold on to that dearly because that is facts. Everyone deserves some semblance of, well, not semblance, their freedom. Yes, I would agree with that. But that is it. So I'm ending here, and I will catch y'all in the next video.